Amidst the huge row surrounding Bournvita, the National Child's Rights Body has written to the manufacturer demanding a reply on the allegations that the chocolate-flavoured powder consumed by millions across the country contains harmful substances. The National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, that's NCPCR, has also asked Mondelez India International, the country arm of the US snacks major, to conduct a review and withdraw misleading advertisements and labels. The NCPCR has also written to the Food Safety and Standards Authority and the Central Consumer Protection Authority to take action against the companies that don't comply with guidelines on food safety of advertising. The big question is, how did this so far go unnoticed? Because this is a product that is related to children and one needs to be really careful about that. Dr. Shikha Sharma, nutritionist, is joining us here on the show now, and Dilip Cherian, founder and consulting partner, Perfect Relations Image Guru, is also with us. Dr. Shikha Sharma, coming first to you. When there is greater realization now that sugar in itself is so harmful and can be addictive in a sense for people, how did this pass scrutiny that the sugar levels were excessive in this in a product that is being consumed by children, and how harmful can it be?
The first thing is that the guidelines continuously keep changing, and suppose if a guideline gives a cutoff of, let's say, 32, so if someone has 31, technically they have passed the guideline. And these are some of the problems within the industry, that they might lobby and get a guideline accepted in the name of jobs or in the name of other things. But the reality is that today most pediatricians, most health professionals would actually condemn so much of sugar for anybody, and most of all for kids, because in the case of children, it not only disrupts their biome, their gut bacteria, but it also is addictive. That means they are permanently resetting their taste buds for higher amounts of sugar. And these are the two critical things, that their immunity is going down, their gut biome is affected, and they are falling into the sugar trap of addictions.
Yes, that is exactly the point here, and I think that is why it's created so much of angst among parents as well, because they are certainly worried if they are trying to cut down on sugar consumption of their children, but surreptitiously, if sugar intake does remain high for children through these products, it is a matter of concern. Dilip Cherian, how do products escape scrutiny over these basic fundamental issues? The onus, towards the consumer that these product manufacturers have, shouldn't it be adhered to, especially in products that are consumed as food items?
I think when there are products consumed by children, we need to be doubly certain. I did a kind of straw poll on Twitter recently to ask what was the reason for a large number of Indians being unhealthy, and the answer that came through resoundingly multiple times from several dozens of people was sugar. Now, the problem with guidelines, and I've sat on the ASCII committee looking at these things, the advertising very often allows companies to paper over the contents, though those are printed, but the advertising does not mention it. Secondly, the problem is that this is what I call disguised sugar. Under the guise of a health product, you're actually dispensing vast quantities of sugar to children, and parents who should know better get confused because the attractiveness of the product as conveyed by the advertising entices them to think that this is good for my child. They're doing it in shall I say, with the best interest of the child at heart, but the fact is that today children are being bombarded by sugar from a variety of sources across products, and disguised sugar is the most fundamental and most anxiety-causing input in many of these products.
Shikha Sharma, Bournvita has in fact put out a statement where they said that they would want to reinforce the fact that the formulation has been scientifically crafted by a team of nutritionists and food scientists to offer the best of taste and health, and all our claims are verified is what they say and transparent. All regulatory approvals have been granted, and what they specifically mentioned, which I think Dilip Cherian just mentioned, is that they say that the ingredients are all mentioned on the pack for the consumers to make informed choices. But a large segment doesn't even read the breakup of ingredients on products, and they largely go by the advertisement or what is being claimed through ads. In that sense, Shikha Sharma, do you think that the onus really lies on that aspect, the aspect of advertising as well, and there should be a clampdown?
I think that's an excellent observation. And if you see all the claims they have made, nowhere have they mentioned that our advertisement was correct, and which was actually, it was wrong. When they are claiming it's good for bone, it's good for this, it's good for that. I mean, suppose, to give an example, if I put a multivitamin in an alcohol bottle and start claiming that because I have put multivitamin, it's good for bones, it's good for calcium, and it's good for many other things, it is not making any sense, because the amount of sugar in that jar is already destroying the gut bacteria. It's already harming the intestine. It's already creating addictive behaviors, and that much of sugar is not even recommended by any pediatrician, any health body. So if they're saying that we have all the regulatory approvals, the regulatory approval is creating a product. I mean, it could be ice cream. The ice cream would adhere to a regulatory product and say, okay, we are making an ice cream and we are putting so much sugar. So those are the regulatory approvals for creating a product. But when they're making health claims in an advertisement and saying that it's good for bones, it's good for this, and even on the packaging they have put health claims, that's where I think investigation should be done, that basis what research have they made that health claim?
Absolutely.
Have they taken 2,000 kids, given them this product, run a cohort, run scientific studies, and then said, yes, it's good for bones? So what I'm saying is that product is not good for bones because of many other additives. Clearly, I mean, if you look at the emulsifiers, if you look at the flavor enhancers, if you look at the other elements in that product, they are unhealthy by all researches. So if they pick up out of all the ingredients, 2 ingredients and say, oh, it's great for health, that is hiding the facts.
Absolutely. And Dilip Cherian, the problem here is also that these are such big companies that the social influencer who put out this video early on, in fact, went ahead and then later apologized and took that video back. Under these circumstances, how do you deal with, something as simple as we would think, an ad that is put out? Now, many would say that, ads are meant to attract consumers to the product, but where is the moral and ethical responsibility here?
Maha, that's the real problem. As Shikha mentioned, the company goes on to say, and as you also mentioned in your introduction, that the company has taken every effort to make sure that the product is healthy and tasty. It is the taste factor that I have a problem with. Government should lay down how much sugar is allowed per tablespoon of product. And we are actually unleashing a tremendous crisis in our children and across generations. The fact is that getting around this is possible because product specifications is one thing, but health claims are a total different thing. And influencers sometimes go an extra step beyond what the company can say. In fact, that's why the crackdown has begun on influencers, and whether they are, like a Shikha Sharma, expert people who have an understanding of the gut biome, of what it does, of what sugar does in combination with emulsifiers. Many of these influencers don't have a clue. They're not trained. They don't have the technical skills, and companies have the ability to tackle the soft underbelly of influence and marketing to get their product through. So I think that this needs to be a a thing which government takes seriously. And in fact, I think we should have a tax on all products which have sugar above a certain limit and salt above a certain limit. We're just allowing these things to happen. And when there are easy ways around it, which are obvious and staring us in the face.
Right. Shikha Sharma and Dilip Cheran, both of you, many thanks for joining us here on this discussion. Clearly, it is a welcome step at the moment that the NCPCR has taken by asking for responses to all the claims that are now being made, claims and counterclaims rather. And one will have to wait to see. The report is to be submitted next week. Once it is in, we'll get to know where the truth lies in this entire case. But at the moment, one thing is clear. Sugar and excessive sugar clearly is harmful, a realization that needs in-depth analysis. More than that, a realization that needs to go down in the society so that the consumption of sugar can be reduced. Many thanks for watching Breaking Views.